have finished uni forever. I don't know, very weird. I just kind of submitted my last exam in my house by myself, and I was like, cool, so what do I do now? So here I am making another video. I have been planning this for planning to do this for a wee while now. I just have not had the time up until now. Basically, I had the idea to try out tips and tricks from other people and different types of makeup techniques, because I feel like it can become really difficult to get out of your own makeup routine and like your own way of things and like try something new, because you just get set in your ways and you're not always like in the headspace to be like, I want to change something today in case like it doesn't work out or whatever. However, I want to push myself out of my comfort zone to potentially get better. Like I obviously want to improve. I also think like going into summer, I normally change my makeup routine slightly for summer versus winter anyway, so perfect time. It's May, like it's going into like summer months. Like I'm excited to, you know, try out new things, I guess is the point that I'm trying to make. I'm trying a new setup where you're like directly in front of me, because my window is like right behind you and I feel like it just looks more lit. Yeah, so basically I've been following this girl Mary for a little while now, and I just love her. Like she's stunning, and she does like outfit videos and like talks very openly about a number of topics, and she's just like fun. I don't know, I like her. I don't know when I came across her, but I guess a wee while ago. And also we are relying on natural sunlight. The lighting will be a little bit more whatever. She posted a wee while ago like her updated makeup routine, and she does it very differently to how I do it. Like not super different in the sense of like, oh my god, it's like ridiculously like out there, but there are a few techniques that I think I could potentially benefit from. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to run through the products that she talks about and whether I have those products, what I think about them, and if I don't have the products, why I'm using the ones that I do, so that I can have like a very open discussion and just like talk you guys through this. I have a little list of all my stuff like over here that I need to do, and yeah, I'm gonna go wet my beauty blender, prime my face, let it sink into the skin a wee bit, and then we can just get started. Okay, so I have primed with my regular primer, which is the Milk Hydrogrip primer. It's my favourite. I have also, obviously, when I wash my face, I moisturise. So I've moisturised, primed. Mary's first steps, we're on a first name basis, we're absolutely not. She uses the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. Now, I've heard a number of people talking about this and with mixed reviews. I think it depends what people think it's for, because essentially she kind of says it doesn't add any coverage, it just makes your skin tone even and it adds glowiness. Now, I don't have this because Charlotte Tilbury is notoriously quite expensive. I just can't justify buying that when it doesn't add any coverage and it only evens skin tone and adds glowiness. Now instead I'm going to use this Glossier Futuredew Oil Serum Hybrid, because this adds glow. Doesn't really add evenness, but I mean, what do you want me to do? Like I can't be buying all this stuff, like I just can't afford it. So moving on. I just use a couple of pumps of this and I just apply it with my fingers. I think the Charlotte Tilbury thing, Flawless Filter, would maybe be better if, for example, you're using it for something like this and you are happy with it not adding any coverage, or if you're somebody who doesn't really use makeup or a lot of coverage in their day-to-day lives, like they don't tend to use a foundation, maybe you only use concealer, something like that would probably be an ideal situation to be using that product. I'm just gonna bring it slightly down the neck. There we go. Now I'm gonna let that sit just for a wee bit so it's not like slick on my face. Gross. But Anyway, you've seen me use this before. It's nothing new. I really like this product. If you are wanting a more in-depth review, I mentioned this product in my unboxing video a few videos back. I'll put it up here so you can watch that if you're wanting my full first impressions and opinions. So already starting out as a little bit different, I'm going to be starting with my contour. This is kind of reminiscent to me of like 2016 clown contouring, where people would do like crazy cream contour, blush, like extreme highlighting, and then would put their foundation over the top. Now this is kind of similar except a little bit different. So she uses, I actually have the products that she uses. She has a mini, which I feel like fits what she's using it for, like the size of it is like gets in there a bit better, but I don't have the mini, I'm afraid. I just have I have the full size. So she applies her contour, kind of blends that out, and then will apply her foundation around the contour, not necessarily over the top, to make sure that she's not layering more products than she needs to, which I think was very clever. That's a very smart idea. She uses a brush, which personally I think is absolutely cursed, but it's just my personal vendetta against brushes. Equally, because I don't like brushes, I don't spend money on brushes. So it's this cycle of like, okay, I'll use a brush. No, I don't like my brushes, but I'm not going to spend more money on brushes because I don't like brushes, but I don't like, do you know what I'm saying? So I don't really have a brush that I could even use to like emulate what she's like, the one that she's using. So I'm just going to use a sponge. Sorry. Her face shape is obviously going to be different to mine, but I'm going to apply it to try and be like on top. I feel like this, so the hollow of my cheekbone is here, which here is quite high up already. I feel like, I don't know, a lot of people are like, I put it on my cheekbone, which is like here, which I think looks a bit weird. I've had someone do that to me before and I was like, no. She goes up, which, oh, I don't like, but I could step out my comfort zone. So much. I'm gonna angle it to try and get it to like not be as much. On here, I don't know if she does it under here, but I'll do it for her. And then she uses it, so she goes like, this is an example of when her like smaller size would probably help. I'm gonna put it up a wee bit, there we go. Where she like puts it in here, so she like does like a, she gets like a really good like solid line, but I can't really, there we go, it's a bit better. So this is what it looks like. I feel like I look like an angry insect. So I'm gonna use my regular sponge that I use to blend out contour, and I'm gonna just get going on this absolute monstrosity. I don't think she has as much redness as I do, so I'm wondering if that will impact whether I will like this look or not, because obviously the areas that don't have like anything on them except contour are going to be like, have a different level of coverage. So we'll just see about this, I guess. Truly, this contour stick though is such a good product. Like, it just blends so seamlessly, and for me this color I feel like is just perfect. This is the shade Baked. I think that's the same one that she uses. It just makes the whole thing not very intimidating, because I can feel like sometimes if you're not used to using cream products, it can feel daunting to have to like blend them in, when in reality this one is really easy. I might add a little bit more because I feel like mine looks like nothing. I think it would be a different result if I was using a brush, but here we are. This is what we're working with. I look very kind of, I don't know, strange is maybe the word, but we're gonna move, we deal. So the next step that she does is she uses her foundation, which is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour breathable foundation, which I don't have. Instead, we're going to be using my Forever Skin Glow I really liked her foundation though for this application, like this technique, because it had a doe foot applicator, and I feel like that would be really helpful in this scenario, but I don't have that, so we're just gonna have to deal. The situation with this is, unlike clown contouring, is you're just gonna go, so I'm gonna put it under here in the center of my face, on my forehead, and like on my chin, so like the areas that don't have any of the contour on it so far. So I'm just gonna apply a couple of pumps onto the back of my hand. Oh, I made a little love heart. I'm just gonna apply a little bit with my fingers just so you can see where it's gonna go, I think is what I'm gonna do. So like down here, may add more, bear with me. On my chin, some here, on my forehead. I think this would make you use less product also, which is interesting and potentially a benefit of this. And now I'm going to blend this out. I'm going to use the sponge that I normally use for my foundation, Let me know as well if you would enjoy me trying other people's, you know, makeup routines. That is the plan, but obviously, you know, I want whoever's watching to also enjoy what I'm doing. So, you know, let me know what you think of this. I also am gonna be traveling next year, so I need to somehow condense my makeup routine to one being few products and two being, I don't know what, like a few products, so therefore like not as much, like lighter, I guess. Okay, so the purpose of that step is to provide a little bit more coverage to the rest of your face and to carve out the contour. So far I'm really liking this as you know, general look. I do think though I will need to add a little bit more coverage to like around here, just because that's where I get most of my redness. And yeah, so far I'm liking it, but you know, I think there are things that I would change just to suit my face shape a little bit better. I feel like this could have been done better, just I think I have a bit more of an angular nose than she does, and so this kind of just looks a little bit muddy in my opinion. Like it's something that is just, I don't know, different, you know, things just are different for different people. Yeah, so the next step is to have, as she describes, a very light concealer, which to be honest I feel like is just my regular concealer shade. I guess I go quite light generally because like that is quite light. So do like in here, and then I'm just going to place it where I would normally place it. This normally goes against what I do because I think I've said this before in a video, but I normally do my concealer first and then my contour, because I feel like if you do it this way around, it comes out and encroaches into your contour. However, we do go on later to kind of like spruce up the contour a wee bit, so I'm hoping that will also, you know, fix any issues that this creates. Oh, James. I'm just going to blend this out with the sponge that I used for my foundation. And how sad is this? My mirror broke. My like mirror that looks like this that I use like in every video, it broke, like it came apart. I'm going to try and glue it back together, but I just have not got around to that yet, so I'm just holding it very precariously to create the illusion that it's still together. I think this concealer will be perfect for this. Check out, if you want to see my opinions on it, this little video up here where I review this concealer along with some other Rare Beauty products. It's very brightening, so that's kind of what we're wanting, and so it will kind of be perfect for this, I feel. I'm just going to bring it up onto my lid as well. Oh, this is like weird. Can't tell. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out the other side. Okay, I feel like this is kind of good lighting to like show what it really looks like. It's very bronzy, which I don't mind. It's definitely different to how it normally looks, which obviously is the point. Like I want it to look different. I like this brightening technique. I'm gonna add a little bit more just here because I just get a little bit of redness there on both sides, and I'm gonna add a little bit under here and like the tiniest bit there. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that makes a big difference for me. Okay, the next stage is to use a powder to set the under eyes, and we're going to pat that in with a sponge, which I have done before. I've used this technique. However, I find that it ruins your sponges after a while. Like, I don't know, they just start to look weird. So I'm using a sponge that I don't particularly like for anything else. Like, I don't use it for applying foundation. It's this Morphe sponge. It's just not the right texture for me. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of my translucent powder to the top, and then I'm going to pat that in underneath my eye. Like that. So we're not leaving a bunch of excess powder like you would with like baking, but we are just using this sponge to pat in the powder. I'm just going to quickly put some brow gel in, and that's really all I'm going to do with my brows, because I don't know, that's what I've been liking doing recently for a little bit of a softer look. I'm just going to take a powder brush. I really like this powder brush. It's like shaped like this, so it's like you just tap it on your face, and you're just going to tap this away and just tap around the rest of your face with no additional product, she specifies. Now we are going to use a powder bronzer to add a little bit more, you know, bronziness back into the look. I do think it's still held up, but I do want to bring it back into like the center of the face. I do this action a lot, and I hope that makes sense with what I'm trying to say. Like bringing it so like it starts here, and then you're like bringing it into the center. You know what I'm saying? The bronzer that I'm going to be using is the Jouer. I have this little duo. Here we go. And I tend to use the darker shade. And I'm just going to use, where is this brush? This little brush here. It's like a little angled whatever. And I'm just going to add a little bit of colour back into the contour and bronze up a little bit. I feel like this looks so like fresh. And it's like not as much makeup, so it doesn't feel heavy like at all. I'm just gonna do my highlighter first quickly. She doesn't really add too much in terms of highlight. She kind of does this alongside her eyeshadow. I'm not doing any eyeshadow because I'm just trying to focus on the skin. I feel like it's quite nice to just attempt something different with my skin, because I do different things with my eyes all the time. So I'm just using this really subtle Hourglass highlighter, nothing new. I'm going to just add a little bit of bronzer into my eyes. I'm just going to add some blush, and she specifies that you have to have this on top of your cheeks. So I'm just going to do my mascara and then come back to you guys, because that's a little bit boring, and I'll do my lipstick and then we can review. Okay, so that's it with the mascara on now. How am I going to do my lips? I feel like I should do a little pillow talk. And this is the final look. I really like it. Big shocker there. I think it looks super glowy. I think the cheeks don't look like, obviously I'm wearing makeup, like that's like, darn it, you've caught me, but like I just think it looks a lot more, what's the word? I feel like it's difficult because like the camera doesn't pick up what exactly it looks like in real life, but like it just doesn't look like I've got as much on as I normally do. What else is there to say? And also it uses less product, like that's great. I'm going to try this more often because I think I could learn a lot by just stepping out my comfort zone and trying out techniques and tips from other people who have, you know, come up with their own way of doing things. Like I'm just excited to like see where, you know, this will take me. Obviously I can't comment on whether having the Charlotte Tilbury would make it a bit better, but for what it looks like on me without using it, it kind of seems a little bit more optional. Maybe just have something to add a little bit more glow. For example, like I obviously use the Glossier Future Dew serum, but I mean I'm using a glowy foundation. Like I feel like you could definitely get away with just using glowy products and not necessarily having that base, depending on, I guess, like the texture of your skin, like already, but I have fairly dry skin and I feel like it comes out looking fairly glowy like without it. Thank goodness this turned out alright because I'm going out for dinner tonight, so would have been a wee bit of a nightmare if it didn't. I hope you were able to take some tips from this. Go look at Mary's TikTok. I really like it. She just makes good content, like couldn't recommend her more. I hope you're able to take something from this, or just like look at your makeup routine a wee bit differently, like step out your comfort zone. Yeah, I'm happy that I did this. You know, you can definitely get stuck in a rut, and not even in a bad way, because obviously you find things that work for you and you want to keep doing that, but you know, there might be things out there that work better, or you know, just changing it up, like it just, you know, makes it a bit more exciting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have anyone out there that you would like me to try their makeup routine, and I can maybe do that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.